There are no groans from either one of us.
Excellent.
Hey! Paisanos, it's the... Excuse me, Princess. Super Show!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Aaron.
I'm John.
And you're listening to the Excuse Me, Princess Super Show, where we watch, review, and try to make you laugh at each one of the Super Mario Super Show and Legend of Zelda cartoons in air date order.
That's right. If you want to watch the episodes we're watching today, you can see them on the Wild Brain Superheroes YouTube channel.
Buy the Legend of Zelda DVD.
It's worth having as a collector's item, but only the old pressing because it has a few of the Mario segments.
And I don't think it's on Amazon Prime, I can't remember.
Not in Canada, it is in the States. Because I spent a 20 minutes on Facebook telling people in the comments of a Facebook post about it that yes, it's supposed to have the Mario Super Show beginning and credits around it. Because at this point there are a lot of people who didn't know that they were a package thing. But legally, that's the opening and credits of the show.
Okay.
Except on YouTube for some reason. That just doesn't have the credits at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, hey, that's the rights the rights owners choosing to broadcast it that way. So the episodes we're looking at today are the live-action segment, Mommies Curse, and the Zelda cartoon episode, Kiss and Tell, which originally aired September 29th, 1989.
Nice. So last time I kind of predicted that Mamma Mia
Mario
would return, and I was sadly mistaken.
Yeah, that's not the kind of mommy that shows up this time.
No. Well, there's two mummies that show up this time. We'll get into that.
Yeah, it was a triple threat pun. And this is another one where you're going to have to, if you want to watch the live action segment, you're going to have to find an extra legal download of it on YouTube because it is otherwise unpreserved and certainly not included on any of the official versions.
Yes. Except maybe Amazon Prime in the States.
No, the live action segments are not included.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was getting confused about. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, yeah. You can find Kiss and Tell all over the internet, but you won't see Mommy's Curse outside of the brave people who've uploaded it.
All right. So this one starts off with Luigi cooking them supper.
This time he's not trying to shave while he does it.
Yeah.
Which is good, because he doesn't incur the wrath of Magic Johnson.
Who, hopefully, we are done with. This is when John surprises me with our first guest star, Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
But no, so Mario's cooking or Luigi's cooking and Mario is,
Shh. Let him cook. That's still timely, right?
Yes.
Very good.
Mario is watching TV.
He's watching Elvira, specifically.
Yeah. Luigi's asking for help, reading out the recipe from Mama's, cookbook. And Mario grabs a book. There's two red leather books on top of each other. One's curses, one's a cookbook.
Presumably. The cookbook one has its actual title covered with a tablecloth or something.
Yes. The other one is like Book of Curses or something like that.
Yeah, it might just be the same prop twice.
Yeah.
Which is fair enough.
So, Mario finally goes, it's like, okay, fine, I'll read out the recipe. And opens it up. It's like, okay, add in hair of witch, eye of newt, stir it together, and it's like, okay. For some reason, Luigi has all of this. I mean, whatever. A well-stocked kitchen makes for well-stocked meals.
Is that a real line, or did you just make that up?
I just made it up.
Interesting.
I think.
But yeah, so Luigi is adversely affected by the curse and has been turned into a growling, groaning zombie.
This is where we get to the curse. Well, no.
Elvira is filming her show live from Brooklyn, if you can call that live.
Yes.
And asks for people to call in.
And Mario calls in and is the first caller, which is weird. Because, you know, at 1989, that would be the height of Elvira's popularity, and teenagers would probably be the first one trying to call in. But she's willing to come down to the shop and help him out. But first, the cartoon.
Yeah. So in between, we have the cartoon, and then we come back, and Elvira is actually in the plumbing shop. I had a brief suspicion it might be all over the TV, like with Mario phoning her.
Yes.
Which, that's better than the medicine cabinet.
It makes a little more sense than the medicine cabinet.
Yeah, we never learned why people could appear in their medicine cabinet. I mean, now, the only two people to have done it are Magic Johnson and, for some reason, Nicole Eggert.
Yeah, they probably just ate the bean.
But anyway.
So, Elvira's now in the plumbing shop. And she's going, like, oh no, I'm a little rusty. I don't know if I can turn him back. And she, like Mario's begging with her to try to turn him back. And she's like, well, we can try this. And goes into like a hip-hop rap-esque.
That was the second one.
Okay.
First, she just does a more traditional
hocus pocus, turn this person back into a human.
Something like that. And instead he turns into a mummy.
Yeah.
With Luigi's hat on.
I didn't know that your brother was a Band-Aid.
Yeah. Yeah, she's really leaning into the Elvira character's pseudo-worldliness that always falls away when she gets flustered.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a lot of Elvira, but I remember that happening a few times. And, yeah. So Mario begs her to try again, and this time she does rap.
And turns him into a werewolf. Who just howls.
Yeah. But she figures, hey, if you can teach him to catch a frisbee in his mouth, it'll be a big hit at the beach.
Yes.
I told you I was rusty.
And the solution for that is shave him down. And Mario's like, it's not what he looks like. I can't speak wolf.
Those are two different parts. Or as they're shaving Luigi, he says, well, he's starting to look like himself, but yeah, it's the talking that's the problem. I don't speak well.
Yeah. So, Mario starts going into speech pathology.
Yeah.
The rain in Spain
stays mainly on the plane. And that seems to start working, and then they start singing it for some reason.
Yes. And dancing around the shop.
Which might be a reference to something, but I don't know what.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can elaborate on that later.
But
is that a no?
I know. It's a no. It's a hard no.
Okay, fair enough.
Let's not talk about the rain in Spain.
I'm sick
on
of this.
or off a plane.
Oh, we ruined my rhythm, and now it won't be funny. Not that it was going to be hilarious.
You're never funny.
Thank you. I am, however, sick of this motherfucking rain. Anyway, but it does work. Luigi's back to his old self, and Mario, carrying a rare trait backported from the cartoon, can't help but go over to a pot of spaghetti sauce and give it a taste himself, even if he knows there's something up with it. Like either being produced by Goombas on a conveyor belt, or in this case, being cursed.
Yeah. Or being cursed by Goombas on a conveyor belt.
Or just not having enough garlic in it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he starts to growl. And Elvira and Luigi just look at the camera and basically say, uh-oh.
SpaghettiOs! Yeah, that would have made it better.
That would have made it cost a lot more.
I know.
But that's where it ends. It's another one of those endings. And Elvira does not stick around to do the Mario, which is a shame, because something tells me I would have liked to watch her do it.
Pervert.
Thank you.
So, John. Bottom third.
Yes. I thought this one was... Well, it's pretty weak, but it puts effort in. They build a separate set for Elvira to pretend to be filming her show. She actually shows up to the plumbing shop in the back end. They have Luigi in zombie makeup, and then a mummy suit, and then a werewolf mask, and gloves,
gauntlets.
Yeah, whatever you call those, hobbit hands. And they put the work in on this one. It's not just a bunch of stuff that happens.
It just
it doesn't quite come together. There's a
No.
weird lack of... I don't have the soft spot for Elvira, someone from a previous generation might. She's got a distinct lack of charisma or chemistry with the show, at least in this one.
Yes. Spoilers, she will be back. So, keep an eye out for that. We are just about out or into full Halloween's mode with October coming up.
Yeah, it's a shame we've already had Elvira, Count Cupula, the Frankenstein...
Dracula,
the other Dracula, and orphans.
Yeah, we triple threats.
Yeah, so
and magic in the medicine cabinet. That's the real scary thing.
Yeah, but no, it's definitely bottom third. It's above the Orphan and Magic Johnson, but only just for me.
And for me, it's well above Magic Johnson, but you all know my disdain.
Yeah.
I have problems with magic.
I give Elvira props for at least showing up, which is probably a good time to segue into Elvira.
Yes, so Elvira. You might recognize Elvira from such projects before.
As Elvira.
Yes, as Elvira.
Yeah, it's Elvira.
Mistress of the Night.
It's Elvira from Elvira.
Her name is Cassandra Peterson. Still alive and active. Born in Manhattan, Kansas. She started working as a set actor, doing spot roles in the 1970s, finally landing a role as Elvira, Mistress of the Night, in 1981. She started starring with Elvira's movie Cabaret. Macabre. Not Cabaret.
Yeah, a cabaret. Yeah, no, it's one of those younger viewers, and I can't imagine there's too many younger listeners of our show, but it used to be pretty popular to have late night movie or horror movie blocks hosted by hosts who would, do jokes in between movies and introduce things and even interview cast or whatever. And yeah, Elvira was a big part of showing schlocky B movies in the overnight on early cable.
Yeah.
Part of what gave some of that early cable its personality were shows like that.
Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
I don't know, Chief. She looks pretty scary to me.
Scary? Jimmy, she's the reason why I've seen Godzilla 115 times. She is definitely a keeper.
So, she has had, and still continues, a long, long career. So, Elvira movie, Macabre, it ran quite a while. Yeah, it revived for 1 year in 2000s. So it was 1981 to 1986, so it ended 3 years before this.
Uh-huh.
Then was revived in 2010, 2011.
Okay. And presumably sold as like syndication in between anyway.
Yes.
That's just when they stopped making new ones.
In 1971, she was a dancer in Diamonds Are Forever.
Oh, okay.
Uncredited small role for that. So,
sure.
As you know, she's in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show. Bros.
I'm so glad you always list that credit as part of the credits in the show we're crediting them in.
Of course. It's the most important one to credit them from.
Yes.
She has been doing quite a few conventions. Like, she's been at a couple of the comic conventions that you and I have gone to.
That's true.
We've never gone to say hi, but
yeah,
she always seems to be a good sport about everything.
We keep missing each other.
Yeah.
No, but we can say that we two people have been in the same building as Elvira at least twice.
Yes. She started...
Next time she's at a convention, we should get a picture with her in our Mario and Luigi outfits.
Oh! We should.
That would be great.
She was also a voice in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2012 cartoon.
Oh, who'd she voice?
Mrs. Campbell, computer voice. Utron, Queen.
Utrom.
Utron?
Utrom with an M.
Utrom.
Yeah, they're the things that Krang was adapted from originally. In 2012, there are a whole bunch of them.
Okay.
And in the 2003 show, Shredder is a Neutron.
Okay.
Yeah.
She also was in Lego Scooby-Doo, Haunted Halloween, Hollywood, Halloween Wars as herself.
Mm-hmm. I think she showed up in a couple of the regular Scooby-Doo cartoons as herself, too.
I think so, too. Actually, I know so.
Like, What's New Scooby-Doo, the one from the 2000s, maybe, or one of the direct-to-video movies.
Yeah. Scooby-Doo, Return to Zombie Island.
Oh, god damn it.
What?
Well, Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island is one of the best things ever made, and Scooby-Doo on Return to Zombie Island is a terrible direct-to-video follow-up that retcons it so that the monsters weren't real.
Ah.
I remember all the commercials were, "This time, the monsters are real." Yeah, they retcon Zombie Island.
She was also in a documentary, Electric Boogaloo, The Wild Untold Story of Canon Films. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I mean, I bet there's a good segment in there on Superman 4.
We should watch that at some point.
Superman 4 or the documentary?
Both.
Well, I've got Superman 4.
Actually, can we skip Superman 4?
Yes.
Okay, we'll just skip right to Returns.
Uh-huh. From our favorite director, with our favorite Lex Luthor actor.
Oh.
Neither of which are problematic at all.
She was also another actress who starred in Chips as herself.
As herself or as Elvira?
As Elvira.
Yeah. I mean, there's very little distinction at this point.
Yeah.
If she's showing up in anything, it's as Elvira, which is fair enough. If I was famous for, like, a single thing, I would never stop trying to cash in.
Yeah. And is this why we're doing this?
Yeah, well, links to the Zelda cartoon censored video in the description below.
Yeah. So, as we discussed, probably one of the weaker ones. Bottom third, not nearly as bad as Cher's Poochie.
Yeah.
At least Elvira showed up.
Yeah,
and at least she showed up on set, putting her above
Magic Johnson.
And better than the orphan, but not by much.
Yeah, but it's almost like you hate to say it wasn't their fault.
No.
Like, something about it just didn't click.
I don't know whether or not, it was just the premise right off the bat, whether or not they for me it was a hip-hop curse reversal that got me.
Yeah, but that was a 5-second thing.
I know, but it kind of, like, I'm not sure if it was like, hey, try to be hip and cool with the kids, because this is a kids show, and ended up ruining it, or if it was...
Well, if you think that having bad rap is a game breaker, I've got bad news for you. You'll know. But yeah, it was alright, not great. And hopefully she'll do better next time.
Yeah.
So do you want to get into the cartoon?
No, I want to go home.
Okay, but before that, if you like the episode and you're listening on YouTube, please give us a like and subscribe.
If you're listening it on a podcast streaming service that allows you to give us a rating, give us the highest possible.
Please. We deserve it.
We put ourselves through this punishment so you don't have to. Unless you want to, then join in with us.
Aye. Alright. So the cartoon is Kiss and Tell, with apostrophes on both sides of the N.
And no, it is not just a Katy Perry music video.
No. Although there are a few, never mind. Okay. So we start off with Zelda riding through the woods with a picnic basket on her horse, but on her own. Because Link hasn't even gotten out of bed yet.
Yeah. 'Cause he's a lazy prick.
He can be. But she's startled to hear the screaming of a maiden who's being harassed by a three-headed Gleeok, the first boss from Zelda 1. And Zelda is quick to note that Link's really going to be sorry he missed this, because pretty girls in distress are what he lives for.
Which, does that make him the villain? A villain?
No, I mean...
Morally gray?
What was it Booster Gold said?
A lot of things that were problematic?
No, in his episode of JLU, he says, she's in distress. She's my favorite kind of damsel.
Oh.
But no, the Zelda goes in to rescue her, the maiden, who is raven-haired and fairly curvy for a kid's cartoon.
I mean, to be fair, so is Zelda.
Yeah, but she's wearing a yellow version of the outfit Zelda was wearing to try and get close to Prince Facade. So, in fact, I think it literally is. Only yellow. But it's made pretty obvious to the viewer that it's a trap set by Ganon, because they're both the Gleeok, all three heads, and the maiden, quote unquote, are really selling the, oh no, won't somebody come save me?
Save the princess,
no,
quick!
We are not referencing that. And she starts to get a little too personal with the insults, and the Gleeok tells her to walk it back, but she says she's just getting into the character. And that's when Zelda shows up to start saving her. Much to her own disappointment, because maidens are supposed to be saved by handsome adventurers.
And
Zelda takes it as well as Link usually takes an insult by saying, hey, pardon me.
Yeah.
Which is a funny bit. And then she does a double backflip behind a tree, pulling the tree back behind her, and launching her picnic basket full of fruit at the Gleeok, after having previously chucked a
mango?
A grapefruit down the neck of the center head, and then a lemon each down the neck of the other two to block their fire breathing for a bit.
Yeah.
That's when she originally tried to rescue the girl. And the Gleeok is got fruit juice in its eyes or something, is flailing around. But just as the girl once again insists that she needs to be rescued by the right guy, Link just happens to be standing there and says, "You called?" There's a funny exchange. Zelda's actually really funny in this one with her snark.
Yes.
It's less prissy than usual and more actual sarcasm. When the lady says, "My hero, it's about time you showed up." And Zelda says, "It's about time he got up."
Yeah.
And the Link manages to backflip onto the center head of the Gleeok and
take off two other heads.
Sword beam two of the other heads after they burn each other briefly.
Yeah.
And then just as about to finish off the one he's standing on when it flips him back.
And he grabs onto the tail.
Yeah.
And a cattail chase ensues.
Yeah. And Link is holding on, but starting to get singed by the Gleeok's flame. And, the maiden is talking about how brave he is, while Zelda is unimpressedly eating a banana and saying, yeah, let's get this over with. And then throws the banana peel in the Gleeok's path so that it crashes and Link can finish it off.
Because littering solves all your problems.
A banana peel in the forest is hardly littering. You just made some ant's day.
I guess you could call it composting.
Where the hell did they get bananas in the medieval stasis European type kingdom?
The Caribbean.
Oh, fair enough. That's what Captain Clump is usually hoarding. He's not a pirate. He sells bananas.
Exactly.
But anyway, the maiden insists that Link get a kiss as a reward. Which Link says, "You should pay attention, princess. You might learn something." Getting a raspberry for his trouble. This is the good version of their banter.
Yeah.
This is the first time it's really hit its stride like this. The last episode of Zelda was really good, but had almost no banter between them because the whole thing was about Prince Facade.
Yes.
Yeah. But as they do kiss, there's a big flash of light, The maiden is revealed to be a Gibdo, which is the Zelda 1 mummies. So we got mummies in both halves of this one. And Link has been turned into a bipedal frog. Who is, the frog voice is... See if you can imagine what I'm doing to achieve this voice.
Oh no, I've been turned into a frog. Nobody can look at me now.
Oh my god, I can't believe you punched yourself in the face for that.
Yeah, well, it was worth it. Yeah, it's Jonathan Potts holding his nose and going a little bit. And, things aren't going too well. But, Ganon's happy. He learns from the minions that have been sent to the evil jar, which include the Gibdo that Zelda took down by unraveling its bandages until you heard the enemy dies sound and the empty bandages just fall to the ground. And Ganon learns that, Link's been turned into a frog, all according to plan, and now he's going to step in himself. And he gets a clear shot at them. Link is Link is being comforted by Zelda, aims his finger for the kill shot, but instead just kind of knocks Link away.
Yeah. He used 20% power.
Yeah, he was in the overworld.
Yeah.
And his powers are limited in the overworld.
But he's a pro.
Yeah.
You're no amateur. You're a pro.
Yeah. And so anyway, Link is knocked out after he leaps up and whams his head on a tree branch, and Zelda is dragged to the underworld by Ganon.
End of episode. Thanks for watching. No.
We gotta keep a tally of every time you do that bit. So Link gets back to the castle and enlists the aid of Sprite, the only other person in the castle. No king this week. And
no janitor.
No janitor. Hey, you haven't met the janitor yet. You're cheating. Link was the janitor for that one episode.
Link was sick that one episode.
Oh yeah, of course. How could I forget? But Sprite is surprised by his appearance and made especially nervous when Link starts eating flies with his tongue, which I forgot to mention he had previously exhibited the ability because Ganon left Link to be killed by a couple of dealers, which are these spider things, but Link just woke up and instinctively ate them, which is hilarious. And he starts eating flies around Sprite, which understandably makes her nervous. For once, she is not into it.
No. That also being said, the way that she described his tongue was as a deadly weapon. Take that how you will.
Yeah, he could literally kill her with it.
Yeah,
I'm taking it literally. We're not doing this.
You're not doing this.
Yes, I'm not doing this. So, as they're trying to figure out what they should do, the Triforce of Wisdom, for the first time in a while, decides to pipe up and give them some advice. Which is mostly go and find someone who can give you advice.
Yeah.
They gotta follow a never-ending wall to a tree that can't be bent or something.
Yeah.
And,
talk to the wall witch.
Yeah. They find that they follow this long stone wall that it seems to end, but it's actually going into the ground, and it's right below a quote-unquote ironwood tree, which just looks like a petrified tree, but I guess it's made out of metal, and for some reason that I don't know, Link also leaps up and hits his head on it. I don't remember what made him do that, but then the wall witch, which is a witch made out of the stones of the wall, which is actually a pretty neat design.
It is.
Just slides forward out of the wall, and
Sprite is a massive bitch to her right off the bat.
Yeah, she said, "What is this, Ugly People Day?"
Don't ask for help if you're just gonna insult them.
Yeah, Sprite isn't the most refined character either. But the wall witch tells Sprite to back off or she'll be used as bait. So Link talks to the wall witch and begs for help. She looks at his tongue from a meter away, but pulls it the whole way towards her. And says that Ganon might be... She says he might be something, but he does the classics well.
Oh. Yeah.
And, the only cure is to be kissed by a princess of her own free will.
It's simple.
You call that simple?
Do you have any idea how long I've been trying to get Zelda to kiss me? And that was when I didn't look like a frog.
I said it was simple. I didn't say it was easy.
Yeah. And I remember this scene very well because it's another one that was featured in the Zelda cartoon censored video, and we'll put a little snippet of that right here.
The cure is simple. You must be by a princess of her own free will.
You call that simple? You know how long I've been trying to get Zelda to me? And that was when I didn't look like a frog.
I said the cure was simple. I didn't say it was easy. Oh boy, this is gonna be good. How?
You have to me. Please? A princess's is the only cure.
You know, one thing I don't get is, the Wall Witch told me I had to be by a princess to get cured. But Sprite did it.
Naturally. My father was the king of the fairies, you know.
You still want to?
You bet! Oh boy!
So anyway, we cut back to Zelda being held in prison by Ganon. She's got her arms handcuffed behind a stalagmite. And he's basically expositing about how he's going to ransom her to the king for the Triforce. So it's not one of those he's going to marry her and become the legal king routines. It's the hostage thing, which is better.
Yes.
And
as long as you don't ask David Horowitz.
And then he said, and maybe a little kiss. And she says, try it and you'll lose a couple teeth. And makes a big kick towards his face. So that's fun.
Yeah.
And yeah, Link and Sprite are creeping in. And manage to...
So Link is using his frog power to climb on the ceiling.
Yeah, or the underside of a bridge.
Yeah.
A stone...
Pillar
bridge. And yeah, things are going well, but he eats another fly, which startles Sprite, which Ganon hears them talking and tips him off that Link's there somewhere. So, but Ganon goes off to try and find him, and Link and Sprite hop down and free Zelda after blasting their way into the door in the quietest way possible.
Yeah. Don't you know the best way to enter a room is by destroying the door?
Yeah.
Especially if you're... Well, I mean, I guess they are sieging the place. So, makes sense. Get rid of... do as much damage before you leave as possible.
Yeah, even if it's just a single wooden door. Why is there a wooden door in a cave? Who knows? But anyway...
It was Gandalf's grandfather's door.
Whose?
Ganon's grandfather's door.
It's funny because for a second I thought you said Ganondorf, which is his name, eventually. But you said it's Gandalf. Everyone's favorite Zelda villain. Gandalf.
Oh.
But Link explains to Zelda that he needs to be kissed to be turned back, and Zelda expresses a little hesitation but says she'll do it. But then Ganon comes in and blows up the party again with another finger beam.
This time also not killing them.
No, but this one has some concussive force to it.
Yeah.
And while Ganon is chasing Zelda, Sprite goes over and talks about what a bad day Link has had and gives him a little kiss, which does change him back. So Link gets his sword out and shoots down a tapestry onto Ganon, and then shoots the bridge under Ganon's feet so he falls through the floor. And basically says, look, Ganon will teleport right back here the minute he gets his wits, so we're gone. So we got 2 minutes left of the episode. We're not going to have a fight scene. We just have to leave. And then Ganon watches them leave from only as far as maybe 6 meters across a bridge. He could teleport in front of them if he wanted to, but he just stands there going, next time, Link. Next time. And yeah, he's had it.
Yeah.
And so they're walking back, and they're trying to figure out why Sprite's kiss cured Link's condition. And it's because her father was king of the fairies.
Was the operative word.
Yeah, which I'm pretty sure turns out to be not exactly correct. I think her father's still around. But maybe he's not the king anymore.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure that's also wrong.
It was a fair election. He was no longer the king for one term, and then he won the next election.
Yeah, that's fair. It works on Naboo.
Yeah.
You can elect a 14-year-old girl to be queen, and nothing bad will happen. So, but Zelda's still willing to give Link that kiss until a fly buzzes in front of his face, and he reaches out and catches it and chucks it in his mouth. Though to his credit, he's immediately disgusted.
Yeah. And so is Zelda.
And so is Zelda.
More so than Link is. And Link is more disgusted they lost the kiss.
Yeah. So, they're heading back to the castle while Link desperately tries to convince the disgusted Zelda that he's still worth kissing. Maybe next time.
Surprise, surprise, spoilers. I don't think he ever gets the kiss.
Not in this show. Technically. There's a gray area there.
There's lots of gray areas.
That's true.
Mostly in Ganon's domain.
Yeah. So, what did you think of Kiss and Tell?
It wasn't bad. It was fairly good. More of a filler episode.
A bit, yeah. This is Ganon's got a dastardly plan thing.
Yeah. Oh, look at what I can do. And never does it again.
Yeah.
Never tries anything like this again.
Well, it didn't work the first time.
Yeah, fair.
They know how to fix it.
Yeah.
Like, that's a little more reasonable than most cases of this.
They could have tried it against Zelda, though.
Well, then Sprite would have had to kiss her.
They could have tried it against Sprite.
Well, then Zelda would have had to kiss her. Like, it's,
they could have done it against each other.
Unless he manages to get two of them.
Yeah.
Which almost never happens. Because he's a cartoon villain who does the part of his plan that puts everyone at his mercy and then leaves. But this one was alright. It's less of it's a step down from White Knight, which I really enjoy.
Yes. But it wasn't bad. It wasn't like,
I think I would put it above the pilot and definitely above Cold Spells.
Yes.
The Ringer, I should say. So, yeah. In my current chronology, I would have White Knight, then Kiss and Tell, then The Ringer, and then Cold Spells.
Yes.
And but it's a bit of good fun. The action piece at the beginning with the Gleeok is good, but not nearly as interesting as the big action set piece at the beginning of White Knight.
No. The animation, there's one animation error that you kept on noticing.
Oh, yeah?
Every time it was shown in the next time on Legend of Zelda with the brown part.
Oh, the brown part. No, yeah, that's right. During the intro, at least the version of the intro that's shown in the preview clips, I haven't checked if it's in the actual intro. There's a brief moment where the spot of Zelda's pants that you can see between the loops of her
satchel,
yeah. Turns the same color brown as everything else. And it's not much, but it's like a single frame thing. Like, she changes position when she leans forward to say, "You must help me, Link," and then stands back. And it goes back to the previous pose, but in between, they color that part of her, what's under the belt, as the same color. And it's kind of noticeable and you can't unsee it. It's like the speck of dust on Batman's lip in the Batman the Animated Series opening, when it does the close-up on his face and he narrows his eyes. In the earliest episodes, there's a white dot on his upper lip.
Oh.
A speck of cell dust. And they did eventually have it retaken without it, and a lot of versions of the show will put the clean version on it all. But if you watch the DVDs, you'll see it sometimes.
Okay.
And yeah, it's so that's not in this episode technically, but it's in the lead up to this episode that I really started to notice it.
Yes.
All right, so let's get into the writer. It's Phil Harnage again. Previously wrote Butch Mario and the Luigi Kid, Cold Spells, Toad Warriors, and Count Cupula. We're about a third of the way through his long list, so still seeing lots of Phil Harnage, and we still don't quite have a read on the guy.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some good ones, some bad ones, and some ones that I forgot.
Yeah, well, he probably wrote our favorite episode of Mario, Toad Warriors.
Yeah.
And also some just okay ones, like Butch Mario and Count Cupula. And the weakest Zelda so far, Cold Spells, which I'm noticing his Zelda episodes are a bit more...
Filler?
Yeah, they're kind of cartoon plot of the week in a magic show. A show with magic, I mean to say. But
Don't get me started with magic shows.
Don't worry, it's not an episode that has magic in it. But yeah, the usual cast: Jonathan Potts as Link, Cynthia Preston as Ganon, Cynthia Preston as Zelda, Len Carlson as Ganon, Tabitha St. Germain, credited as Paulina Gillis, as Sprite the Fairy, and almost certainly as the maiden that the Gibdo is disguised as. I am 90% sure, but there's no way to know for sure. And she might even voice the Gibdo itself. And Elizabeth Hanna returns as the Triforce of Wisdom. So, ratings.
Ooh, that's a good question. Ratings for this one. I don't know, 7.5 fly meals out of 10.
Fly meals?
Yeah, fly meals.
Fly meals to the moon. All right. 7, did you say? Or 0.5?
7.5, I think. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, 7.5 fly meals out of a possible 10. And I'm going to give it 7 lemons down the throat.
Ah.
Out of a possible 10 lemons. Down the throat.
At the time of recording this, we did just finish recording our April Fool's episode.
Yeah, so you'll have heard that a few episodes ago. We hope you enjoyed it. We thought it'd be interesting to try doing that bit where we just pretend we stepped into the alternate universe. So, but if reception is good, we might pull a similar stunt next time. We'll see.
Yeah, or on my birthday, or on John's birthday.
Yeah, if we get an excuse to have some fun.
Yeah, we might do a Christmas special. And for that, we'll just, I don't know, give each other gifts.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's letter time. Hey, it's another mailbag for another episode. And we're going to get right to the point because, to pull the curtain back, we're still on the same recording as last episode's, and it's running long. So, Aaron, what do we got for some comments?
All right, on episode 17, Lanola Cola. I guess you weren't left disappointed by this episode. I'm unfortunately referencing the Kevin Sorbo Hercules TV series, which did give us Xena Warrior Princess. Also, like the Disney film putting the Roman Hercules in a Greek setting, shouldn't the name be Heracles?
I've heard that about her.
Yeah, but I will agree, the two different names, but we have to go with the most popular one and what most people know him as, which is Hercules.
Yeah, hero of song and story. Oh, do you know that theme song, the one I put at the end of that episode? It's sung by the guy who sang I Can See Clearly Now.
Oh.
Yeah, Johnny Nash, I think the name is.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, Lanola Cola has also commented on one of our YouTube shorts. So, really, a thank you for that, for boosting our viewership on our shorts. It's the way that we'll reach the most new followers, listeners, and stalkers.
In that order.
Yeah. So, Luigi's tickle torture had to have awakened something in someone, and I fear that will keep me up at night. Also, what was the standards and practices on to allow literal waterboarding in Mario? John, I believe you have something to say about this.
I do. Also, I'm so glad we could find that clip from G.I. Joe Retaliation and throw it in there. Sorry, there's also
It was a great resolution.
Well, there was a G.I. Joe cartoon. There's G.I. Joe Retaliation, the movie. There's G.I. Joe Resolute, which was a 2010s short series. And there's G.I. Joe Renegades, which was that A-Team one that they did. But anyway, the point I'm trying to make here is...
Waterboarding.
Yeah, in the episode itself, what it is King Koopa has a leaky faucet over his head. And the torture is that because he's a plumber, he hates leaks. So, yeah. But no, it's pretty much Chinese water torture / waterboarding. But I think that is how they got around it. Just like having Toad be the one on the rack because they established he could stretch. I think that was a case of writing backwards. We never did find out whose rack it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Moser's rack.
Mosi
Gores.
You forget yourself. All right. Thanks, Leno Lacola, as always. And we got another double feature of Dr. Derp. Trying to think of another D word, but can't. Letters. So this one, Count Cupula / Magician, or I'm going to sing this song all day long. Hi, John and Aaron. Time to check in on the Mario Brothers again. Let's see what they're up to. Thoughts on Magician. Finally, some real magic in a live-action segment, as opposed to that medicine closet magic we usually get. This is a pretty cute pre-cartoon setup that goes in a predictable direction after the cartoon. This is another segment that is carried hard by the chemistry between Danny Wells and Lou Albano. Not much happening here, though. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Not much happening, but more entertaining.
Yeah, and it was nice for Luigi to be the one screwing up for once.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Count Cupula? I get the feeling Phil Harnage specifically was a big fan of Koopa's alter egos. I have to go back and check, but I wouldn't be surprised. A nice and familiar gothic setup for a Dracula parody. We get a bit more of that kinetic edge from Toad Warrior with the shots and the angles. Poor Toad must have been in elastic agony after getting stretched so far. Oh, matron. It's nice to see Dan Reba flex the kind of atmospheric magic he'd employ so often on Batman. Yeah, this is Dan Reba at his finest. The atmosphere feels very Scooby-Doo, so it's nice to know that Dan Reba would cut his teeth on an actual Scooby-Doo cartoon with, checks notes, Shaggy and Scooby-Doo get a clue. Huh, neat. Oh, that was the worst one. Did you ever see that one, Aaron? The one where they did spy shit.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've tried to block that out of my mind.
Yeah, it didn't last long. It was after What's New Scooby-Doo and before the Mystery Incorporated, I think. The two good ones that everyone remembers from this decade. Or the last decade. And now for the best worst part of the episode, the cover song, or lack thereof. In the original cut, the rendition of Thriller is kinetic, energetic, ominous, and just perfect set dressing. Okay. Without that cover song, the sequence is flatly paced against generic Mario 3 music. Well, I won't argue with that. If only Mario 3 had some spooky music to work with instead. Those Were-Koopas were very nice and scary, and the lead vocals are quite effective. Now, see, I disagreed with that personally. I thought the cover was a little on the weak side.
Could have been better, but it's not the worst that we've gotten so far.
No, not by far. Unfortunately, the episode kind of drags after that, even as it checks off the last few beats of the classic vampire story. And of course, we'll never know how King Koopa becomes a vampire. But that's neither here nor there.
He ate the bean.
Maybe that is it. That was a hell of a bean. Favorite joke, I'm taking you to Count Cupula's torture chamber, wax museum, dungeon of horrors.
That was good.
Yeah. There's a reason I made sure to keep that in at the beginning of its respective TikTok. It was too good a line not to just cut to us. Books or hip-hop. Is spooky hip-hop a thing? I think it is. I can't think of any examples. Aaron?
Yes,
You're closer to the hood than I am.
There is a version of nerdcore and other versions of hip-hop called horrorcore hip-hop.
Yes, I have heard that. So, okay, fair enough.
So, I would say horrorcore is spooky hip-hop. There's even one about cannibalism.
I can't think of a joke for that.
Don't worry. They will eat at you all night.
Unintentional foreshadowing. Transylvania spooky settings will be used across Mario Kart games. I think he meant Mario Party games. As well as Super Mario Land 2. Oh yeah, with the little Jason masks with the daggers sticking out of them running around. That was a fun one. Not to mention ghost houses, which have become a staple from Mario World onward. Also, the design of... excuse me, I can enunciate that a little better. Also, the design of the doors reminds me of Hotel Mario. Of course, garlic would also be a recurring power-up and icon of the Wario games. That's 23 to date. MVP of the episode, the Were-Koopas, which he spelled with an E-A-R. So, I wasn't wearing Koopas, but I guess someone was. Updated top 5. If the cartoon packed a little more punch in the end, it would have had a crack in it. It would crack it. Sorry, it's been a long day. But for all the wind-up, there wasn't much of a pitch. Question of the week. If you were trapped in a haunted house, what spook monster would you least like to encounter? Next time we sail the high seas, see you then.
I just about said something, and I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, yeah?
Because I read it as, what monster would you least like to encounter?
Yeah.
And I just about said Magic Johnson in a medicine cabinet.
Oh, damn. Yeah, he's if you open the medicine cabinet and say his name 3 times, I think. Let's see. If we just want to pick strictly classic, I think I'd have a better chance against, like, a Dracula. Mummies are pretty slow, so I would say the Wolfman. I would not last long against a Wolfman.
If I was actually to answer this with, monster-wise, I don't know. A basilisk.
Yeah, somehow I knew killed by a furry would end up in my obituary. Basilisk, huh? Giant snake?
Yeah, that turns you to stone.
Well, I guess it's better than being eaten, maybe. Killed by Vor is always going to end up in the obituary. Sorry about that.
Not a problem.
I'm in a silly mood. I'm full of chicken. Alright, and another one from Dr. Derp. Might have to skim this one. It's getting late, but we'll see how we go. Hey, John and Aaron, as someone who... Oh, sorry. Funny. Do the title first. Pirates of the Koopa, Do You Believe in Magic? Or The Second Ugliest Pirate I've Ever Seen.
But I've still seen you.
Yeah. As someone who listens to a lot of podcasts that drop on Friday, I don't mind the schedule change to Monday. Yeah, it might help us, too. It will give me more time to respond to some other podcasts I'm listening to. Can't believe we're just one episode away from returning to Hyrule. One might even say a hop, skip, and a jump away. I think I'm supposed to get that. Sorry, we're pretty dense tonight. Thoughts on Do You Believe in Magic?
John's always pretty dense. It's like he's made of, like, dense stuff.
Yeah. We're bringing our A game. Do you believe in magic? Can this live-action segment pull off the trick of actually getting Magic Johnson onto the set? The answer is no. Another basic comedy premise. How will the bros fix Magic Johnson's trophy after accidentally tossing it? Well, it's not really much of a premise, and the skit doesn't do much with it either. The performances don't even do much to elevate it. Very, very mid. I think that's fair to say. Although I think it made Aaron a little angrier than mid. Thoughts on Pirates of Koopa. Where's that parrot from Steamboat Willie when you need him? And then there's a quote from that, which I am not doing. I've only seen Steamboat Willie when I went to Disneyland, and I couldn't hear it very well, because there was a Christmas parade going on outside. Mario and Luigi are hitchhiking with the second ugliest pirate I've ever seen. You don't want to know who's number 1. Animation is consistent, but the continuity could be better. Shout out to the classic cutting a hole in the fog gag, done nicely with some nice sunset atmosphere. Yeah, I thought, that part was pretty neat. And it was consistent with the way the smoke was depicted as thick with 2 C's. I love how we get a good look at Blackbeard Koopa. He looks more like Captain Barbossa in the 4th Pirates film. That one also features Blackbeard, ironically enough.
I've never actually watched anything past the first Pirates film.
I saw the second one. And that's as far as I got. Except that I've seen TikToks of Paul McCartney's cameo in one of the later ones. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Real talk, is the pirate parrot wielding his own chicken leg? I don't think the weapon decay got that bad after Ganon came back.
Oh. Maybe. Because he did have a peg leg and he was wielding a chicken leg, so...
Yeah. He cut off his own leg because he ran out of other weapons to use.
Or he cut off his own leg for fun.
Yeah. Or because he was really, really hungry. I mean, he was stuck in that crow's nest for 127 hours at least.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we can't read the rest of your letter because you spelled Ganon with 2 N's, which for those of us who've been on the internet too long means you've been Ganon banned. Good night. No, okay. If I had a nickel for every time Princess Toadstool got sold off, I'd have 2 nickels. Oh, okay, I guess I have to do that more properly. Oh, my throat's a little dry. If I had a nickel for every time Princess Toadstool got sold off, I'd have 2 nickels. It's just very uncomfortable that it happened twice. Oh gosh, this has got to be the worst Super Mario transition I've ever seen. It just goes on forever and it's just a pain to watch. Oh yeah, where he flicks through the alternate colors and stuff too.
Yeah.
He was hoping the cover would be the silver lining, but it was very mid. Yep.
Agreed.
Very much so. I'm not looking forward to having to try and coax a TikTok out of that one in a week or two. This episode has a nice cartoony vibe to it, but it screams unfinished. Yeah, it just kind of stops.
Yeah. Like it should have a part 2, or a to be continued, or until next time, paisanos.
Yeah.
And then never follow up from there.
They never do the Mario. Does the smash cut to the black screen with the to be continued?
Yes.
Favorite joke, the bomb blowing up in Koopa's face. I like the ordering milk in a dirty glass.
So did I.
Yeah. Books are hip-hop. It was hip-hop, very kinetic. I think that's fair enough. I think it was books. Treasure Island, specifically.
Yeah.
What about you, Aaron? Books or hip-hop? Since we're stealing we're using this letter to steal another podcast's bit.
You know what? I'm gonna go with Kindle.
Oh. But with an unlit screen.
Yes.
Unintentional foreshadowing. This isn't the first time Mario will set sail with pirates on the high seas, nor dress up as one, as any Paper Mario fan and Mario Party fan will tell you. 25. MVP of the episode.
This isn't the first time?
Mario will set sail with pirates on the high seas. No, I think... Yeah, what would the... Well, I don't think it's in the show. I think in one of the games already he would have. But I can't think of what it is.
Because at this time, what games were already out?
Maybe he meant to say this isn't the last time.
Maybe.
Sorry, Dr. Derp, we're not trying to call you out, we're just trying to keep up with your mind.
Yes.
MVP of the episode, Magic Johnson, although the competition was very weak.
I will disagree. I believe that he put in the least amount of work, and really should have been sent back through that medicine cabinet to get a dose of his own medicine.
Cabinet. His cabinet minister. We'll be in touch. I don't know. I think the MVP is Mario managing to hammer a busted up trophy into a nice trophy, even if it was the wrong trophy.
Yes.
Top 5. Nope. Question of the week. What celebrity would you like to meet in your medicine cabinet? I think I see a shrine on the horizon. Better go exploring before next week's episode. See you then.
Oh.
Let's see.
Celebrity.
I would have said Kevin Conroy if he hadn't passed away a couple of years ago.
I would have said Adam West if it wasn't 7 years since that happened.
Yeah, we both want to see Batman in our bathroom. Val Kilmer.
I'd still say William Shatner, but I've met him in person and I wasn't impressed.
Release the Schumacher cut. I don't know. If it was like going to be the same kind of awkward, stilted, slightly menacing interaction, why not Mike Tyson?
Because I don't want to lose an ear.
Through your medicine cabinet?
Yes.
You know, the people in the cabinet can't reach through. It's only a one-way road.
No, because he handed his
Oh yeah,
through.
but only when their face is off screen. That's right. Okay, maybe not Mike Tyson then.
I was also thinking Austin St. John, but not with what's going on with him.
Yeah, not from prison. David Yost would be pretty cool, though.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Trying to think.
Mark Hamill. That'd be amazing.
Yes. Or Robert De Niro and Drake.
Ooh.
Bringing it back.
Yeah, nice work. Well, I think that's a good way to end it. So, clean your bathroom mirrors just in case, and we'll bring you more mail in the future. Say goodnight, Gracie.
No.
All right. If you want to reach out to the show, you can email us at excusemesupershow@gmail.com.
Send us a message on the Facebook at TikTok, Blue Sky at Excuse Me Super Show,
and on Twitter X at Excuse Me Sup Show. And as usual, we'll be collating for mailbag segments. And now, you want to do our predictions before we close the book?
I feel like we already got most of it done, but yeah, let's do it.
Okay, do you remember how you predicted the next live-action segment, Lost Dog, when I biffed it last episode and once again started feeding you the next Mario thing instead of a Zelda one?
I do remember predicting that it would be Cher's dog that got lost.
And me telling you you're half right.
Yes.
Yeah, and telling you why you're half right. Okay, but then you didn't get a chance to predict 3 plumbers and a baby.
No, I did not. 3 plumbers and a baby.
2, I'm sorry. 3 plumbers, 3 men and a baby is the movie that the title's a joke on. 2 plumbers and a baby.
It's based on...
You sure it's not woke?
I mean, it might also be woke, but I don't have a problem with woke.
That's good.
It's going to be Mario and Luigi have to take care of Princess Toadstool's latest child of a long line of royal babies that haven't made it past 3 months.
Yeah, well, so
they're all
When you say they haven't made it past 3 months, do you mean that's how young they all are? Or how young they all were?
Let's just say there's a reason why there's a mushroom orphanage.
Oh, shoot.
None of them have stuck around.
Why do they keep coming out looking like Luigi?
Why do they keep on coming out looking like Toad?
Well, that would make more sense. Because at least in this universe, we don't know if Princess Toadstool is a native resident. But anyway, you were almost right until you went off the rails. So, it's a little more cartoon than that.
Oh.
What's a thing that happens in cartoons sometimes to characters for one episode until it gets fixed?
They have a child?
No.
They break a leg?
Yes, but that has nothing to do with the title.
They do their own plumbing?
Let's not get crazy. Okay, it's obvious you're not going to take my attempts to spoon feed this to you, so we'll just move on. But we'll spoon feed you another podcast in a couple of weeks, and until next time, he's Aaron.
He's kind of annoying.
And until next time, everybody,
do the Mario.